Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chris from the Grid Hi-Fi. We're out here at the Grid doing an unboxing of the brand new Diva Utopias. These have been long overdue. They finally hit the States and we have our hands on a set. I'm going to do a quick unboxing, do a reason, or give you guys an explanation why this is a better system for you guys versus jumbling a million other components. But we're going to get into that. We'll do it right after the intro. All right, so before we get into the unboxing, this entire unit comes with 3 boxes. This is the accessories kit, which is very well packaged. Let's go ahead and show you guys what comes in there real quick. So I see a very beefy power cord, which is excellent, right? Because you want some heavy gauge, wire going to. This is an active system, so the amplification is actually in one of the units. So if you don't want to use this one, you could definitely beef up and bump up to another unit. But they give you 2 plugs right out of the box, because obviously both of them are going to be plugged in. And then what you get over here is you get a really cool case. Let me see if I can show you guys this. This is kind of like this is very sophisticated packaging. So this is really cool. I'll show you what comes in here. So this is magnetic type of boxing. You have your remote for the system, obviously batteries. This is a cool touch. It comes with a felt right here, which is going to be the design feature that you're going to be noticing on these speakers. Typically, most speakers, they have the automotive paint on them or a wood finish. This is done in kind of like an acoustic type felt solution. So we have that there. We have the quick start guide. We have a high quality Ethernet cable. And then that might actually be the unit to the dongle to attach the two. And then you have a really cool felt pad to wipe off your equipment, and you have your spikes included right there in the kit. If you guys don't want to use this, you guys can use some sort of isolation system associated with the quarter 20s that you see right here on the bottom of the spikes. And if you guys have hardwood floor, you can put them on these anti-spikes, which are right here, spikes right here for deep carpet solutions. If you guys want to use an isolation system, you guys can definitely do that as well. I would recommend something like an ISO Acoustics, something similar to that. Basically, if you guys have never used a system similar to something like that, it really improves the bass response in the room because it gets rid of unwanted vibrations and judder, and it really just cleans up all the sound from the foundation, which is the bass, all the way up into the mid-range and stuff that you actually hear. So this is going to be a daunting task. I'm just going to bust one of these out of the crate. I'll just do some jump edits, and then we'll talk about what's going on. Big chunk of wood. All right, so this is the Diva Utopia, and what you get in the unit is a fully joined system with the Focal and Name banners, right? We are the Focal power by name here for Houston. I think we're the second one in the entire nation. So both of these companies, they are sister companies. They're designed to work together. This is the first thing that they've done. This is a joint collaboration in between the guys over at Name and the guys over at Focal. So they basically, whenever they make speakers, they use them, they design them to work with Name anyways. So now this is a completely 100% design system that it's a synergistic relationship, symbiotic relationship, as you would say. These are meant to work together. So what you get is a slightly larger than 1-inch pure titanium or a pure beryllium driver tweeter. This is 27 millimeters. You also have this cool red-black type of tweeter grill. This is a M-shaped inverted dome tweeter that's fully beryllium. 50 times more expensive than gold. This stuff is super expensive, and once you hear beryllium, you can't unhear it. I love it. We have 6.5-inch mid-bass drivers. We have 1 here, and then we have 2 on each side. These are in a push type configuration. This is in a standard magnet configuration here. Like I was talking about before, you have the cool design on the sides, which is kind of like a swept back type of design. A little bit similar to what you'll see right there on the Sopra, but a little bit different. And you have a better overall radiating pattern with your low frequencies versus it being all facing front, which could be better or worse depending on your actual configuration that you have. You can put these in the complete corner for the best type of bass response. You can put it in the quarter wavelength of the room, which will give you a medium type of response, and you can have it kicked out in the room, which is going to be less bassy, but it'll be a really, really natural and neutral sound. So let's see what else is on this unit. One thing I didn't talk about already is the casters. You can literally just move these things around. They come on, wheels, so you can move these things wherever you need to go. These are like 170 plus pounds each, so I don't really recommend picking these things up and moving them around too much. But once you get these kind of like in place to where you want them, I would definitely recommend putting those spikes on, or maybe that isolation system like I was talking about, whenever you get it in its final resting place. That way you can increase the performance of these things even better. So this system has a amplifier set built right into the back of it, right? So you get the time alignment type of appearance with the cabinet itself, but we have this super high quality AB amplifier right here, 400 watts for the entire unit. So what you get is 75 watts for the tweeter, 75 watts for the mid bass, 250 watts for the actual bass configuration, or the 6.5 inch mid bass drivers on the side. Let me see if I can pull the camera in on this one. I believe this is the other half of the solution. Basically what you need one of the brains that's going to have the streamer, all the universal plug and play. Basically this one's the preamp over here. I didn't unbox this one first, but basically what you can do is you just plug this one into the wall, whether with that cord that I was talking about, or you can do the high quality cord. And then that Ethernet cable that I was referring to earlier, that's actually the daisy chain in between these two. So it's not 100% wireless, but it makes it a lot easier versus having a full stack of stuff back here to make your system perform. So I'm going to bust this one out of the box, and I'll show you guys that one in just a minute. Okay, so this is number 2. Be very careful. Well, I guess you guys are going to be unboxing this thing, your dealer is, because you can't buy these things unless you go through a Focal Power by Name. There may be other Focal dealers. You cannot click to cart. You cannot get these things drop shipped directly to you. You have to work with a Focal Power by Name to get this specific system. That's how much they care about this product, because they want to make sure that it's set up and deployed in the perfect type of environment. So again, you have the grill right here, magnetic grill up front. What I would like to see, and this is a love letter to the guys at Focal, whenever we had the Sopras, they had that little wooden handle on the bottom. That would make this perfect to get this out of here. These things are super heavy, and I would really like it make it easier to get these things out of here. Otherwise, you kind of got to do a really weird bear hug and kind of pull them forward. But I'm not going to show you guys that. I'll pop back in a minute. Okay, and this is Diva number 2. So this would be the brains of the entire operation, right? So one of them's the controller. One of them is the receiver of sound. So what we have here is numero 2, and I'll show you guys that on the side here. This one, there is a lot more options down here for you, and I'll see if I'll bring the camera in just a second. So might as well just do that now. Okay, as you see, this thing is very well taken care of from the manufacturers. They have film pretty much on every single point that you're going to be touching to make sure that this thing gets to you very precise and clean. So let me just show you guys the brains of the operation back here. You guys can use the USB right down here as universal plug and play. So if you have a NAS or an external hard drive, you can use that unit to connect it. What we have here is on top, we have the speaker pairing, which would basically pair this system. We have the analog input right there on the side. We have digital input, so if you want to use the DACs in this unit, you could. You have an HDMI right here, so you can literally use this with a TV and have yourself a really, really good sound system versus, you using whichever TVs or soundbar that comes with the unit. We have the universal plug and play like I'm talking about with the USB. We have the network right there, input. Highly recommend using a network connection versus Wi-Fi, but you're more than welcome to do that. You have a grounding system that you can float or have it to where it's just a standard grounding. And then you have a completely factory reset right there. And then the speaker link, like I was talking about, which is the reason for that cable that I showed you guys in the first place. These have different configurations right here. So you can do the 115 to the 220 right out of the box. So it doesn't matter where these things go in the United States or abroad, you can use the unit how you see fit. What I do find really cool is that you can switch out this fuse to a third-party fuse and basically have a much better performing system by just swapping out the fuse, or even if you guys are into cables, you guys can swap out that cable too. But this is a three-way base reflex design with this system. These are the SOPR number 2s, SOPR number 3s for comparison. Let me see if I can get this close over here to show you guys the difference. It's kind of like an in-between for both of those. So it looks a little bit broader on the front. By force perspective, this looks smaller, but I would say it's in between the size of a SOPR 2 and a SOPR 3, which is what the Utopia Diva is. And this, let me show you guys this over here if I can pan over. These are my Scalas in my 1000 Utopia in-wall LCR theater back there. Those are much bigger than what we have here, but that is a passive system. This is a fully active system. All right, guys, so that's the unboxing of the Diva Utopias. These are the active system three-way, like I was talking about, bandpass, base reflex type of configuration. One thing I didn't show you guys was the tweeter, which is super cool looking right there. We have this brushed aluminum look to it. These things are gorgeous. You could put the magnetic grill on there, which no Utopia that I know has a magnetic grill except for the in-walls. So that is a really cool feature right there. Nice and gorgeous. And then this felt, this is going to be exchangeable down the road. So if you wanted to customize it, you definitely can. You have this super inert type of material on top. And then you have this felt design right here on the sides, 6 1/4 inch driver like I was talking about. And you get these cool little reminders that you got Focal down here whenever you plug them in. So super impressed with these so far. I haven't necessarily heard them just yet, but that's going to be a teaser for another video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this video up, and then we'll talk about that on the next one. All right, I'm going to wrap this video up, guys. This is the unboxing of the Diva Utopia active speakers. So one thing I didn't show you guys was the remote. This thing's pretty cool looking. This is different than pretty much any other remote that I've seen from Name. So I wonder if you guys can see that. It is a nice, it looks kind of like the top of the unit, but it's a really nice textured. This feels like it's metal, but it could be a super hard plastic. But really great in the hand, the way it feels, very ergonomic. It has this cool little display there so you can run up and run down the volume, kind of like the Statement does. But these have no controls on them, right? So if you lose this or you lose your phone, you have no volume control. So keep that in mind. There is literally nothing here because it was designed that way. They want to make it to where it's super simple for you to operate. They don't want a whole bunch of extra equipment and components in the way. Basically, this is going to be a stone cold killer for most people with their living rooms, media rooms, stuff like that. And I think that's it. If you guys want to grab these things, you guys know where to go. You have to go to a Focal Power by Name. We're the Focal Power by Name here in Houston. We are also the Grid Hi-Fi. Our companies share the same address, but you guys can pick up the phone, shoot us an email, get a hold of us, do an in-person demo. We'd be happy to show you guys around. Besides that, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe this video. That's all I got. We'll see you next time.